Howdy y'all, Rowan here, and today I have to interrupt all of my planned scheduled content to bring y'all a video that I am so excited to finally bring you. Yesterday, I got a little package in the mail that I had been waiting for a year. Last January, I bought myself a pre-order deck for my birthday, thinking that I would have it in a handful of months, but unfortunately it did take an entire calendar year to get to me. Not the end of the world, I can be patient, but I've been like gnashing my teeth, gnawing at the bone, waiting for this deck to come in the mail. I'm super in love with it, and today I just wanted to talk about The Deleted World Tarot by Joshua Urban Davis, Between Pixels and Prophecy. This deck is fucking stunning. Let's just get into it. So to begin with, the deck did come with 3 stickers. These are the stickers here. They do correlate to cards in the deck. We've got a Grand Arcana, or a Major Arcana, a Court card, and an Ace. I don't know if you pre-order the deck, if it will still come with those stickers, or if this was a pre-order, I don't know if you buy the deck now, it will come with the stickers. I don't know if they were a pre-order exclusive or not. But the box is very sturdy. It's got a proper lid, like it, whoop, whoop, whoop. And it's fucking beautiful. The back does say it has 78 cards. That's a lie. My version of this deck has 79 cards. Again, do not know if that is a pre-order exclusive or if all purchases of the deck will get 79 cards. In the box, so these are the backs here. On the inside of the box, it says, "What is not saved will be lost." And we've got this gorgeous blue marbling, which does go all the way through the inside of the box. My copy of the deck did come with a sort of certificate of authenticity, and I have number 83 out of 2000, so that's really exciting. So we're going to go ahead and set the box aside. Here is the deck itself. If I can keep it in order, I do have it ordered. So once again, we have the backs. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and flip this bad boy over. So the guidebook that it comes with has this beautiful gold embossing that says Atlas of Deleted Worlds. This is what the interior of the guidebook looks like. It has 1-page write-ups on each of the cards. The guidebook is good. It's not great. It's not bad. It is helpful. I haven't really gotten into it as much as I would like to. I have read some of the entries, but not very many of them, and I've read some of the support information that's around it, but I have not read this all the way through, so I cannot say for certain whether or not I like the guidebook yet. Insofar, I find it to be very middling. I like it, I don't love it, I don't hate it. But the deck, I fucking love. So let's go ahead and start with talking about the cardstock. So this is a matte linen finish cardstock. I don't know if you can see that texture. Maybe. It is a matte linen finish cardstock. It feels almost the exact same to shuffle as the Lilith Tarot. So it's that kind of matte finish where it's almost a little bit grippy, not soft petal, rose petal, soft touch matte finish, but like a sandy, almost matte finish where it really feels unfinished almost. I don't know how else to describe that. It's nice. It's nice. But it starts obviously with the Fool, takes you through all of the courts and all of the pips. But a lot has been changed in this deck. All of the suits have been renamed. All of the court cards have been renamed. And many of the major arcana have been renamed. So let's just take a look. I'm just sitting here sliding this deck around the screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So we have the Fool card, the Magus, and you can see we've got keywords: the Fool or the Distant Hills, the Magus or the Thief. The cards also have on each card, they have alchemical symbols. So you've got your astrological associations for it as well as your elemental association. I have not checked whether all of these associations are in line with Crowley's system, but this deck is definitely Thoth influenced, although it is not a straight up Thoth clone in any way, shape, or form. As you can see, the Messenger / the Keeper of Keys, that's the Hierophant. It has been renamed, as has the, let me go back. The Empress is the, oh, shoot, let's just go all the way back to where I just was. The Lifting Veil, the Unseen for the High Priestess is just absolutely stunning. The Kindred or the Invisible City for the Empress. The Clouds or the Eternal Ladder for the Emperor. And then the Messenger, the Keeper of the Keys for the Hierophant. The Lovers or the Self. The Chariot, the Open Sky. The Physical World, the world made physical. And the Hermit card, which kicks a lot of ass. The Veiled Lamp or Integration. I love this Wheel of Time, the Turning Wheel, the wheel that turns. Force of Nature, Force of Machine. And this is Strength. Sacrifice and Perspective for the Hanged Man. Death and Rebirth. The Virtual World, the world invented for the Art card, the Alchemy card, the Temperance card. There we go. If you can hear thudding sounds in the background, that's just my cats playing. Please forgive them. They know not what they do. The Devil or the Great Machine. Awakening, the Burning Temple. Extinction, the Genius of the Dead, and this one as number 17 is the Star card, so that's really interesting. The Moon or the Sea. And then here's where okay, so let me be very clear. This is not a beginner-friendly deck. If you could not tell by all the changes that were made in the structuring of the deck, or in the naming of the deck, it also changes some of the structure of tarot. And here we have the Sun and the Star, which is confusing because the Star card is another, like, traditionally is number 17. So having the Star sort of folded in with the Sun, this is definitely for people who are looking to expand their tarot understanding or who already have a very expanded knowledge and base for the cards. So the Sun and the Star go hand in hand here. Oblivion and the Void for Judgment. The Deleted World and the World Deleted for the World. Then, this is the extra card that the deck comes with. The Thing Between Worlds and the World Between Things. Love this card. It's come up for me quite a bit in the one day that I have been working with this deck. So, here's where things get really, really interesting. So, because this deck is based on computer data and digital ephemera, it reorganizes the numbered pips. So instead of 1 to 10, you have 0 to 9, with the 0 card being the 10, but placed at the beginning of the climb, I guess. So we have for the 10 of pixels or fire, or wands, however you want to say that, the 0, the null of pixels, is the Exhausted Storm. Then the Ace is Opportunity and Procrastination. Oh, excuse me. So the Exhausted Storm or the Eye of the Storm are the keywords there. Then for the Ace, we have of Pixels, which again is Wands or Fire. We have Opportunity and Procrastination. For the 2 of Wands, we have Dominion or Impatience. 3 of Pixels is Productivity and Negligence. Let me hold these cards up a little bit more so you can see the artwork is quite complex in most of these. Harmony or Adjustment for the 4 of Wands or Pixels. Strife or Reconciliation for the 5 of Pixels. Victory and Delays for the 6. Tenacity and the Adversary for the 7. Acceleration and Regression for the 8. strength and the interface for the 9. That's a really interesting name for set of keywords. And then we get into the courts. So these court cards have been reworked, as I mentioned before. So to start with, instead of a number, you have a chess piece symbol here representing which position they are in. So instead of the page, we have a pawn symbolized, and the deck like the guidebook, the codex calls this the scholar. Instead of the knight, we have the messenger. Instead of the queen, we have the visionary, and instead of the king, we have the architect. So we have the wanderer for the page, the valiant for the knight, the composer for the queen of fire, the commander for the king of fire. Again, this is the pixel suite. So then we get into the glitches suite, which is the water suit of the deck. Suite, suit, whatever. The water suit. So this is the equivalent of the cups. And the null card is root and branch, or branch without root, for the 10 of cups. Then we loop back around to the ace with essence. We have connection for the 2. Oh, excuse me. Essence and rejection for the 1, connection and the fall for the 2, abundance and indulgence for the 3, alternative and obstacle for the 4, errors and memory for the 5, recursion and reunion for the 6 of water, imagination and mischief for the 7 of glitches, which again is the water suite, growth and regret for the 8 of glitches, and bliss and the portal for the 9. For our page/scholar, we have the romantic. Our knight/messenger is the mender. Our queen/visionary is the dreamer. And our king/architect is the peacemaker. Then we have the suit of illusions, which is the air suit. So this is the equivalent of the swords. We start with the 10 of air, corruption and treachery. Then we loop around to the ace, action and chaos. This suit is called illusions. I didn't say that. So the 2 of illusions is choice and indecision. The 3 of illusions, we have a very traditional depiction here, which kind of made me groan when I first flipped through the deck. This is my one complaint. Sorrow and freedom. 4 of illusions, or 4 of air, is respite and caution. 5 is disappointment and penance. 6 is science and solitude. I really like those keywords and this visual here for illusions, 6 of illusions. For the 7 of illusions, we have escape and surrender. And the 9, we have mercy and restriction. Then for our scholar of illusions, or page of air, we have despair and rest. The messenger is the mesmerist. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. 8 is mercy and restriction. 9 is despair and rest. I don't know where I got off. Y'all are probably laughing at me right now, but that's fine. We have the mesmerist as the page or the scholar of illusions. The mystic as the knight or the messenger. The avenger is going to be our Queen of Swords card here for the visionary of illusions. And the researcher for the king or architect. Then we get into our final suit, the components. So the 10 of components, or the 10 of earth, is future plans entropy. The 1 is offering of material, or the hunger. So that's the ace of earth. 2 of components is change and stagnation. The 3 of components is work and insecurity. The 4 is evidence and speculation. The 5 is worry and rehabilitation. And this card reminds me of the beginning of, oh gosh, the A Christmas Carol. This card reminds me of the beginning of A Christmas Carol when Scrooge's old work partner visits him as a ghost. That's the energy I get from that. Then we have 6 of earth, bounty, and greed. The 7 of components, prudence and anxiety. The 8 is the craft and idleness. 9 is security and dissatisfaction. Our scholar is the shapeshifter. Our messenger is the pathfinder. Our visionary is the cultivator. And our architect is the protector. So that's the deck, right? Let's go ahead and give it a couple shuffles so that you can listen to the way the cardstock sounds. It is a thinner cardstock because it does have a linen finish. And here's the bridge. Oh, that swish. It really reminds me of the Lillifer Tarot. So if you have felt the Lillifer Tarot, this is the exact same, except it's pressed with the linen embossing. That's the only difference. And quite frankly, it doesn't make it that much better of a shuffle. The Lillifer is like a brilliant shuffler as it is. The linen doesn't really help that much, but it does aid to the texture of the cards. When you've got this vaporwave aesthetic, it's really nice to have the linen finish because it gives it the appearance of a CRT monitor. So that's fun. Keep shuffling this. I want to shuffle it at least 7 times, and we're going to do some Oracle pairings, okay? So this is not a deep dive into this deck. As you may have noticed, I didn't have a lot to say about most of the cards. I mean, I do have a lot to say about the cards, but I'm not here to share my interpretations of each of them. In the future, I may make a deep dive of this deck because I'm already so enamored with it. I have been shuffling it for approximately 24 hours straight now, and I have really bonded with it already. I did a reading with this deck where it basically gave me all of the same cards I had had that morning, like yesterday morning for my daily reading. It gave me all of the same cards, but in a different spread, saying basically the same thing that my morning reading said. And it used multiple of my signifiers to let me know that it saw me. So this deck has already really bonded to me. I'm not going to be edging it. As you can see, it does have a raw edge. Boop. There's no color or gilding on the sides of the cards, so I'm not going to be changing that. I thought about it for a little bit, but ultimately I like the light airiness that it gives the deck to have this raw edge, so I'm going to leave it alone. We're not going to mod this deck. And first we're going to just kind of pull a card and get into the guidebook, and then we're going to play around with some pairs, okay? So let's just... The Messenger or the Keeper of Keys. Okay, so this is the Major Arcana, and this is the card that represents the Hierophant. So it says, the Messenger symbolizes guidance, wisdom, and spiritual communication. Associated with Earth, Venus, and Taurus, it represents the grounding of divine messages, messages and the connection between the spiritual and the material world. Excuse me, I'm dyslexic. Proceeding from the clouds, which signifies ambition and the unknown of new paths, the Messenger brings clarity and insight. So this sort of ties it into the previous card, the clouds and the eternal ladder, which is the renaming, the reworking of the Emperor. Then for our actual message, it says guidance, wisdom, and crossing a threshold. The Messenger signifies the arrival of guidance and wisdom. This card encourages seeking and sharing knowledge, grounding divine messages in practical ways, and being open to receiving and delivering important truths. The Keeper of Keys, secrecy, misdirection, and hidden knowledge. The Keeper of Keys suggests a period of confusion and hidden knowledge where clarity is obscured. This card warns against keeping vital information locked away and emphasizes the need to confront and uncover hidden truths to move forward with a clear understanding. So that's fine. That's fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's fine. It's not the most helpful thing in the world. This is not a deck for learning. This is a deck for expanding knowledge. I cannot stress that enough. Please do not get this as somebody's first deck unless they merely collect artwork related to digital ephemera from the early 2000s or late 90s, which is exactly what this deck is all about as a vaporwave deck. Now, if you're not familiar with vaporwave, you're probably like 7 years old. So for the little bit of my audience who is quite young, as the majority of my audience, according to my analytics, is between the ages of like 30 and 48 or something like that. These cards are done in a style that is reminiscent of the colors and textures that were popular and made popular again through the artistic movement known as Vaporwave, which is a pastiche artistic movement that pays homage to computer interfaces, hardware, software, and aesthetics of the late 90s and early 2000s. So this, look, if you're 7 years old, you probably know the band Glass Animals, right? If you know the band Glass Animals, you know their most recent album cover, the pink one, the one that that one song that's really popular is on. That album cover is Vaporwave, okay? So that's what this whole deck is, except it's got a lot of collage elements that really ground the deck in an earthly, tangible place, so that the combination of this digital electrified experience comes home to an earthly, touchable place, if that makes sense. So yeah, love this deck, in fucking love with it, quite frankly. The artwork is stunning. Oh, if you're 7 years old and you're watching my video, please stop, because I say naughty words a lot of the time. Or at least have your parent with you so that they can tell you which naughty words you are and are not allowed to say. This deck is great. Like I said already, I am so smitten with it as it stands. I think that it's beautiful, and I think it's a clear communicator. However, again, I consider myself an intermediate tarot student, so yeah, take of that what you will. So let's start by looking at some mass market decks that I would pair this one with. We're going to start with some of my not so favorite pairings. The Rainbow Brainskull, I think, fits this deck energetically, but not necessarily visually. So the Rainbow Brainskull was originally an indie deck, but it did almost immediately go mass market. We're just going to give it a little 1-2 shuffle because I feel compelled to anytime I take a deck out. And this deck is all about creativity and one's relationship with it. So this deck, the Rainbow Brainskull, really matches that creative energy of computer programming at that time. So let's do this little game here. Slide these bad boys up. We only need the butts of them. And flippy poo. So we've got harmony and adjustment and the virtual world, the world invented for, and it pairs with one thing at a time, card 50 in the Rainbow Brainskull. So harmony and adjustment is the 4 of fire, or the 4 of pixels. And when I think of the 4 of fire, I think of milestones, of accomplishment, of homecoming, of marriages, unions, family reunions. But in this deck, harmony and adjustment. So this idea that you have to, yeah, it makes sense in my brain. I'm not going to sit here and explain every card because we would be here way longer than we're already going to be. And then the virtual world, the world invented for alchemy. So harmony and adjustment, or temperance. I always call temperance alchemy when it's got names like this because that's how it helps me to synthesize the information. But whatever. Temperance and 4 of wands with one thing at a time. The moon with opportunity, the ace of wands. And we have the work and whatever comfortable thing that is in front of you right now at this moment. The work is whatever uncomfortable thing is right in front of you, right now at this moment. Oh my goodness. So this pull really makes a lot of sense to me. The ace of fire, the work, and the moon. That gives me this energy like there is an opportunity that is arising that requires you to apply yourself and to move through an area where you're not going to have all the answers as you tackle it, but you can still walk the path if you can look at the path in front of you. So that's fun. And then we have the craft, 8 of components, and action, the ace of illusions, with just throw time at it until it's a thing. Again, this really, this is a cohesive reading to me. You need to do the work. It kind of mirrors what we saw last time, which is what you're going to get a lot of with the Rainbow Brainskull, because again, it is very creatively oriented. But this mirrors the last reading where it's about doing the work taking the actions based on the choices that you have made in order to implement the outcome that you're hoping for, right? So that is this deck with the Rainbow Brainskull. Now I'm going to stop recording and go ahead and get out the Modern Nirvana Oracle to look at this with. Okie dokie. So here we have the Modern Nirvana Oracle. Again, another mass market deck. This one I love to pull out with colorful decks like this. And this one has a more... Well, let's just take a look, okay? We have Sacrifice and Perspective, or the Hanged Man, with Prism, Acceleration, and Regression. Ooh, that checks out for me. Now, I really like this artwork together, but I don't know that everyone will. I really like it. I don't love the Modern Nirvana Oracle deck just because I'm not a super huge fan of the sigil cards, which make up exactly 1/5 of the deck. But I love the artwork so much that I forgive it, and I work with it anyways. Not often, but, you know, on occasion. Partnership, the Peacemaker, and Dominion/Impatience. So I want to point out that Dominion for the 2 of Fire is the same as Crowley's keyword. So this deck is definitely Thoth influenced, but it puts Strength at position 8 and its equivalent of Justice at position 11. So it's not a Thoth deck. It's just inspired by the full scope of tarot knowledge that is available. So I really enjoy this deck because I feel like it is made by somebody. Joshua Urban Davis seems to understand thoroughly both the artwork that he is making and tarot. And for that, I fucking love this deck. I love the knowledgeable and cohesive tone that it has within itself. But you do kind of have to meet it where it is and enjoy it as its own thing if you are not able to jump through hoops to read tarot, if that makes sense. If you at all struggle with having memorized meanings of the cards, this is going to be a deck that you'll basically want to use as an oracle. If you have not studied the intersection between, oh goodness gracious, astrology and tarot, and numerology in tarot, if you've only ever studied the Rider-Waite-Smith, this deck is probably going to be very confusing to you, which is fine. Confusion is good. Let's get outside of our comfort zones and enjoy things where they are rather than wanting them to come to us. So I'm not saying don't buy the deck. I am just saying be prepared to have to learn the deck on its own terms. You're going to have to meet it where it is. Next, we're going to take a look at the Sacred Symbols Oracle by Marcia Kroll. Yeah, Marcella Kroll. This is the box. This is another mass market deck that was originally indie. So the backs, they're fine. Don't love them, don't hate them. But the fronts really work together for me. So because the Deleted World is so busy and the Sacred Symbols is so simple, I think they pair beautifully together. Exhaustion, or lifting the veil, the unseen, the exhausted storm, and the eye of the storm with water. That checks out to me. That thoroughly checks out. We're going to do one more. Essence, the physical world, and jealousy. Interesting. Okay, essence and rejection with the physical world and the world made physical. So here I would probably go through to the shadow meanings and read the reverse of these cards. I would say this is about the world made physical and rejection with jealousy. So like the idea that something that was only an inkling in one's mind has become manifest in the world in a way that causes rejection for our querent, or causes our querent to feel rejection at least. And that rejection is based on emotional jealousy. So this reading would absolutely tell me that there is at least a feeling of impropriety in the relations that our querent is having, whether those are romantic or otherwise. Yay. Okay. Gonna pause again, and we're gonna get into some independent Oracle decks, okay? Alrighty, so up next, we have the Deleted World paired with the Poesis Oracle. As you can see from the backs, they are stunning when they're flipped over like this together. The color palettes really match up. Now, the Poesis is a heavy hitter that I can pair with quite a number of decks and really enjoy the aesthetic outcome. So it is no surprise to me that I like these two decks together. The Mystic, the Wound, Sorrow, and Freedom. Love that. Then we have Connection, the Fall, Offering of Material or the Hunger, and Earth. Nice. Nice. So this one here is really the shadow of the card. The Fall, Earth, and the Hunger, perhaps. Like, that's how I would read these together. The Messenger or the Keeper of Keys with Evidence, Speculation, and Body. Ooh, interesting. This would tell me that you need to go to the doctor. This reading right here would say there's something that you need to do with a doctor in order to, this maybe speaks to the idea that you're having some fear that you're ill and you're not taking proper care of yourself, and you know better. And like Evidence and the Messenger, with these two cards together, I really think like Four of Pentacles or Four of Components, you know, protecting the material that you have, and then the Messenger, the Keeper of Keys, as a pillar of authority in an institutionalized way, with the Body. Yeah, that just says there's something going on in you and you need to get medical help to sort of nip that in the bud. Maybe you've been pushing yourself too hard and you need to drink more orange juice and eat more chicken noodle soup, and sleep more, or maybe you literally need to go to a dermatologist and have them do a mole check all over. Like, there's a lot of different ways to interpret this, but the long and short of it is you are not taking care of your physical form. Future Plans, Oblivion, and Birth. Yeah. All right. So that is the Poesis Oracle. Like I said, that one is not a surprise to me that I like them together. The Poesis is one of my favorite oracles, and I use it for just about everything. This is available through a Riffle in Time and Tarot Stack. Next up, another deck you can get from a Riffle in Time or Cassandra's Tarot Shop, Cassandra Riffle in Time here on YouTube, is Color Vision Oracle. My box has wax on it, excuse me. This one, we're just going to give it a quick hand over hand, excuse me. Kind of shuffle there. So this one's going to look good because this is just a deck that's based in color. This is just a deck of pretty colors that we're going to pair up with a deck of pretty colors. So these I already know look good together. I didn't even have to see them before I knew, but I'm going to show you anyways. So we get the Composer and Change or Stagnation with Love. Oh, that's so pretty. The Pathfinder and the Wanderer with Silver. Prudence and Work with Chaos. Interesting. So here I would interpret this as shadow again, anxiety and insecurity with chaos. So because you are not doing your due diligence, you feel insecure about your abilities to tackle the work that is at hand. There is something that you have not been doing. You have been letting chaos rule your space. Maybe you need to clean your home. Like that's what I would get if this were talking to me personally. It is time to clean your apartment, clean out your mental space through cleaning your physical space, as right now you are surrounded by chaos and it is creating chaos in the mind and in the emotions. However, if we take some time to put in the effort, we can fix that. So that is it with the Color Visions Oracle. Last but not least, my favorite pairing for this deck is one of my newer oracles in my collection. And it is as I said, these three, the second round are all independent decks. So this is the Supra Oracle. And this deck, oops, I accidentally broke the seal on it a while ago and I keep opening it from the seal even though I'm still trying to preserve that part of the box as best as possible. The Supra Oracle I'm not even going to show you. I'm just going to, I've shown it in other videos, and you can always go to the UC website to look at it yourself. This is from the same company that makes Pagan Other Worlds. And we are going to just take a look at this artwork side by side, and you'll see this deck really simultaneously grounds the deleted world while also giving it an esotericism that it's trying to bring to the table, and the Supra really aligns that esotericism in with the messages. So we've got errors and memory with worry and rehabilitation, with gentleness in between. Now, the artwork here is on the Supra is similar, though not the same. It's like ink block etchings, I want to say. Ink block etchings, and it's very similar to the collage elements that are pulled in on the deleted world. Magic with the Fool and the Mesmerist. Yep. The Sun and the Star, the deleted world with Ego. Oh, it goes upside down, excuse me. Yeah. Like, look at the textural similarities here, you know? They make sense to me. These two decks make sense to me. This is probably the Oracle I will use most with this deck, other than probably so this one and the Color Visions, I think, are my favorite pairings. So, yeah. Why do I have upside down cards in here? I don't shuffle in reversals. I'm going to have to go through and fix it. Strife, reconciliation, mercy, and restriction with thinking. Yeah. All right. So those are my pairings for the Deleted World Tarot by Joshua Urban Davis. And that is just a quick little flip through and discussion of what to expect if you go ahead and get this deck. I haven't seen very many people on TarotTube talking about the Deleted World, so I wanted to hop on here and make a video basically as quick as possible, because I think this is a beautiful deck. I think it deserves people to put their money into it. It was not, my understanding is that if it is made with any type of AI, it is only insofar as programming things to give us some of the backgrounds that can then be collaged over. And I don't want to call that AI so much as generative art, because if you are programming yourself to make a program that will generate images, that's not AI. That's programming art. That is specifically the art of software engineering, if that makes sense. So I do view that as a little bit different. I admit I have not looked deeply into Joshua Urban Davis's creation process on this deck, so I don't know if he hand rendered all of the backgrounds in Photoshop or whatever, or if he generated them using a program of his own development. But the collage elements in here, I mean, like, there's no way that this deck is completely made with AI. There is a strong possibility that elements of it were made with something that some people may call AI, but this is not the same as just running your prompt for your college essay through ChatGPT, okay? This is not that. This deck, oh my God, fucking stunning. In love with it. If you don't like anything computer made, stay away from it, because this deck, I cannot stress enough, is computer themed. But yeah, I'm very happy with this purchase. I'm honestly kind of glad it took it a year to get to me, because in that time I was able to develop my knowledge of the tarot to the point where I can use this deck without the guidebook. I can, like, just straight up pull it out of the box and indulge in the keywords that are on it. So I love that. I love this deck. Please go check it out. I will link it below. And if you are interested in it, support Joshua by buying it. Oh, sorry, I dropped something. One of the stickers fell. But yeah, that's all I have to say for today. I just wanted to highlight this deck, show it off a little bit. I'm not trying to put too much of my own opinion, or not opinion, but interpretation on these cards, because I want people to go out and sit with them themselves. Thank you for being here. I feel like I should say more, but I'm just going to go ahead and get off camera now because we've been here for a while. All right. Thank you. I love you. Comment, like, subscribe. Please check out my Instagram and view some more of my videos. Okay. Mwah! Bye.